What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some advice that all quarterbacks need to hear. Let's get started. Now, before we get in this video, fellas, if you are a quarterback and would like to learn how you can read defenses, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to over 500 plus videos, all broken down on how to read coverages and how to read defenses. All 500 videos are like 3 to 5 minute breakdowns that I myself record where we break down NFL, college defenses, talk about the weaknesses of those defenses and how you guys can identify that as a quarterback. So if you guys want some more information on that, again, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so this video is going to be a little bit different tone than the videos that we do in the past, right? We talk a lot about drills, talk a lot about throwing mechanics, footwork drills, everything like physical the quarterbacks like to do. But today we're going to be talking a lot about the mental side of the game. So we're going to be talking about confidence, how you guys can bounce back after a bad play, an interception, a really bad throw, and just honestly how you guys can be a better leader of your team and help your teammates follow you and want to play for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is confidence. So quarterback is a position that requires a lot of confidence. You need to be a leader of the team, but you have to be a leader of your team and have to show confidence in your own way. There are a lot of guys that try to come off as confident, try to come off as leaders of their team, and it just sounds really corny if I'm being honest, and that's probably the worst way that you could get guys on a team to follow you and want to play well for you. You have to be yourself in your own unique way. Now, I know it's basic advice, like every freaking motivational book ever is going to tell you to be yourself, but when it comes down to leading a group of guys, they will be able to tell, especially high school guys, they will be able to tell if you are a fake or a fraud. Why do you think so many let's say like social media, for example, because everybody understands social media. Why do you think so many guys on social media have like bigger followings? Because they're themselves, they're real, and people like that. People want to follow a guy who's real. They don't want to follow some fake, phony ass guy who's making all these crazy videos that are just super fake. They want to follow somebody who's real and they can relate to. Same thing when it comes down to a football locker room. So you have to be yourself. So what do I mean by that? I mean that if you're not a guy who's like in a game, like talking trash or whatever, like don't be that guy like with your teammates. Don't be that guy to the other teams. Be yourself. If you're not a guy who talks trash, don't talk trash. Be comfortable in your own skin. That is how guys will follow you and lead and let you lead them, I guess you could say, right? Now, another thing is like if you're trying to lead a group of guys and you're not a yeller and you're not like a big rah-rah guy, don't try to be that guy because somebody told you that you need to be that guy. Like I'll never forget, like I had a high school coach, great coach, like not a bad guy by any means. He used to get on me because I would, yell at my teammates and get on their ass and be like, hey, do this, and whatever the case may be. And I was never that guy, and I never did it. I would be like, oh yeah, sure, okay, and I would never do it because my teammates wouldn't respect me because they know that's not who I am, and they could tell that that was fake. So that's the biggest thing I can tell you guys. Do not be fake if you want to lead a group of guys. If you're trying to come off as confident, do it in your own specific way. All right, guys, so now I want to talk to you about confidence. So confidence we briefly touched on in the last little spiel that I gave you. Now, confidence is one of those things that I think comes from three specific things. Number one, it's going to be like positive self-talk. Like I think if you're sitting back there and you're constantly saying like, oh, I'm going to screw this up, or you're telling yourself negative things, that will eventually like itch its way into your mind, and that's going to be at the front of your brain every single snap that you take. You need to be thinking like, and again, it's another corny motivational thing, like think positively, right? Always see the positive side and things like that's honestly like that's what you have to do at this quarterback position. Like you need to be thinking about the success of the play. What can you do in your own power to make this play successful? You shouldn't be thinking about, well, if this goes wrong or if this guy goes wrong. Focus on what you can control, and that is doing your job to the absolute best ability that you can do. That is one of the biggest things that helped me out as a player that I wish I would have learned earlier. I had a great coach in high school who told me like, hey, just do your job. Like there's 10 other guys on the field that all have to do their job correctly for the play to be successful. And that kind of really like hit home, and it seems simple, but like when you really think about it, like you just have to focus on what you need to do. So at the quarterback position, what do you need to do? You need to have the right drop, you need to deliver an accurate ball, and you need to make the right read. At the end of the day, right? I talk a lot about complicated things like mechanics, throwing on the run, all that stuff. That's not stuff that you can think about this time of year in August, September when the season's rolling around. All you're worried about is delivering an accurate ball and making the right read and having the right feet in the pocket. So that's all you can worry about. That's all you can control. You can't worry about the line. You can't worry about a receiver dropping the ball because that's where the anxiety builds up and you're not playing as confident and you're not playing free out there. Now, the second thing that you guys can do is the work ethic, right? You have to put in the work, and that seems, again, very basic, corny advice, but you have to do the work that leads to the confidence. Because if you're just like if you think that you're the best player in the world, like that's arrogance if you're not doing the work that leads into that. So you need to be making sure that after practice, you're getting reps with your center and your receivers. During practice, you are focused, you are present, you are learning, you're trying to get better. In the classroom, when you're watching film, you are focused. You take a notebook to the classroom so you can write things down. That's where confidence comes from. So it's positive self-talk and absolutely doing the work and then trusting and knowing what your job is. If you can do those three things, you will be a more confident player on the field. All right, guys, so the next thing that I want to talk about with you is bouncing back after a mistake, like an interception, a really bad pass, a really bad read, whatever the case may be. Now, here's the thing. A lot of quarterbacks are super afraid to mess up, whether they are in like a quarterback competition with somebody else, whether they just put a lot of pressure on themselves, which is a good thing. Like a lot of people say, oh, don't be so hard on you should be hard on yourself. You want to be the freaking best quarterback that you could possibly be, and you should put that pressure on yourself because the position we play is a high pressure position, and you have to freaking love that pressure. Now, when you put that pressure on yourself, you have to be able to turn your emotions off. That's like so many guys, they try to do it all in one play. They're so afraid to make a mistake that they put all this unnecessary pressure. You want to put pressure on yourself, but we don't want unnecessary pressure with myself. And that ties back in to having that positive self-talk. All you can worry about is your job. Put pressure on yourself with your job. You want to do your job perfectly. Now, it's inevitable that you're going to screw up. Everybody screws up. You shouldn't make, honestly, like physical mistakes are going to happen. Mental mistakes we want to try to limit, but mistakes are inevitable. Those are going to happen. You should not be afraid to fail. You should think of it like a learning experience, right? So you throw a really bad interception and you made a bad read. Yeah, you're pissed off. Everybody's pissed off. Nothing is worse is that when people come up to you and be like, hey, shake it off. You'll get the next one. Like you're freaking pissed. You want to throw the ball down when you throw a bad pick. But you have to be able to internally shut that off, learn from it, flush it. Next play, good or bad. If you throw a 50-yard touchdown pass, you shouldn't let your emotions be super, super high. Yeah, I'm pumped up, because a bad play is eventually going to happen. And if you're letting the play, the result dictate how you feel, you're going to be on a roller coaster the entire time. And we don't want to have that at this position. At this position, you got to be cold. You got to be touchdown, interception, whatever it is. It's the same mindset. Next play. What's the next? Okay, I learned from it. What's the next play? I did a good job. I did it perfect. Okay, next play. Because if you do that, you stay focused, you stay locked in, and you're trying to perfect your job. And when you start stacking plays like that, that's when you start making big plays. That's when you can start playing free and relaxed and be a more successful quarterback who is able to just, hey, tune out all the distractions and just ball. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you're a QB and you want to get better at reading defenses, check out that very first link in the description below. Over 500 plus videos, all based on how quarterbacks can read defenses. So again, very first link in that description below if you want to improve your football IQ. I'll see you guys next time.